Welcome to the complete history of the Northern Song period in Chinese history. This is the 13th historical era in China, featuring the states of Song, Liao, Jin, Western Xia, Dali, and others. Among them, the Song Dynasty is divided into the Northern Song and Southern Song, collectively referred to as the Song Dynasty. In this series, I will focus on the Northern Song period, providing comprehensive insights into its country name, history, territory, politics, military, economy, culture, technology, ethnicity, diplomacy, society, and more. If you are looking for a simple and preliminary understanding of Chinese history, you can also listen to my other work, A Brief History of China. Now, let's delve into the fascinating details of the Northern Song era. The Northern Song Dynasty 96011-7 was a historical period in China that followed the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms. It lasted for a total of 167 years, with 9 emperors. Together with the Southern Song Dynasty, it is collectively known as the Song Dynasty, also referred to as the Two Songs, due to the imperial family's surname Shao, often called the Shao Song. In the 7th year of the Xiongdi year 960, a group of generals initiated the Changtia Rebellion, proclaiming Shao Kuanjian as emperor and establishing the Song Dynasty. The capital was set in the eastern capital of Kaifeng, located in present-day Henan, and the reign title was changed to Zhanglong. Through the policy of separating military and financial powers, the centralization of these powers was achieved, preventing the chaos of regional separatism seen in the later years of the Chang Dynasty. However, it also led to military setbacks and wars against the Liao, Western Xia, and Jin dynasties. In the first year of the Jingeng era 1126, the Jingeng incident occurred, leading to the subsequent conquest and demise of the Northern Song by the Jin dynasty in the following year. The territorial boundaries of the Northern Song extended northeast to the Han River, Bie County in Hebei, and Yumen Pass in Shaanxi. In the northwest, it bordered on the Hanshan Mountains in Shaanxi, the eastern part of Gansu, and the Huo River in Qinghai. The southwestern boundary was defined by the Min Mountains and the Dali River. During the reign of Emperor Shenzong, the Hexi corridor was recovered, and during the period of Emperor Hizong, the Longyu military commissioner was established in the northern part of Qinghai, and the 7 prefectures of Yongnian were redeemed at a high cost. The political system of the Song Dynasty largely followed the model of the Chang Dynasty, adopting a decentralized approach to managing state affairs. The position of prime minister was held by multiple individuals, and the system of appointing officials, separate from their official titles and actual duties, was implemented, playing a crucial role in maintaining national unity, but also contributing to a situation of accumulated poverty and weakness. Some view the Northern Song as the most economically and culturally prosperous period in ancient Chinese history. Confucianism experienced the revival, technological advancements surged forward, and political governance was relatively enlightened. In the 3rd year of the Shiyangping year 1000, the GDP was 26.55 billion United States dollars, accounting for 22.7% of the world's total, with a per capita GDP of 450 United States dollars, surpassing Western Europe's 400 United States dollars at that time. During the Northern Song period, the population rapidly increased from 37.1 million in the 5th year of the Caipingzhenguo year 980 to 126 million in the 6th year of the Shuan year 1124, partly attributed to the widespread cultivation of compa rice. In terms of foreign relations, the Northern Song expanded on the foundation laid by the Chang Dynasty. Relations with Korea and Japan in East Asia were close, and connections with Vietnam and Indonesia in Southeast Asia were strengthened. Moreover, the influence extended to West Asia and Africa. Part 1. Country name. Shao Kuanjian, due to his rise in Songzhou Province, Shantiu, Henan, formally established the country name as Song because the imperial family's surname was Shao. It was also referred to as Shao Song. Additionally, following the 5 virtues theory, with the Song Dynasty associated with the virtue of fire, it was also known as Fire Song or Flame Song. It was respectfully addressed as Great Song. Due to its geographical location relatively to the later Southern Song, it was also commonly called Northern Song. Part 2. History. Shao Kuanjian played a crucial role in the establishment of the Northern Song Dynasty. having been promoted to the position of the leading military officer of the East and West policies after supporting Guo Wei's ascent to the throne of later Zhou. In the third year of Guangshen 953, Guo Wei sent Zhao Quanzhiyan to Huazhou to serve as the deputy commander. At this time, Guo Wei's adopted son, Chai Rong, was granted the title of Jinwang Prince of Jin and appointed as the intendant of Kaifeng. Chai Rong and Zhao Quanzhiyan had served together in the military for several years, and recognizing Zhao Quanzhiyan's military prowess and intelligence, Chai Rong kept him by his side and appointed him as the military commander of the Kaifeng prefecture. In the first year of COD 954, after Guo Wei's death, Chai Rong succeeded him, taking the title of Emperor Shizong. In the sixth year of COD 959 in June, Chai Rong passed away in Kaifeng. His 7-year-old son, Chai Songsen, ascended the throne, and the affairs of the state had to be decided by senior ministers. At this time, Zhao Quanzhiyan had already gained control over the military and had garnered the support of important military commanders. Together with figures like Yang Guangqi, Shi Shixen, Li Jixen, Wang Shanqi, Liu Kenji, Han Changyan, Liu Shizhuang, Liu Tingguang, Wang Shanshong, they formed the 10 Brothers of Righteousness Society. Among his followers were his younger brother Zhao Guangji and his advisors Zhao Pu and Li Chiyun. In the 7th year of COD 960, on the first day of the first month, the provincial governors of Zan and Deng sent urgent military reports to the capital, reporting that the Khitans and Northern Han had joined forces and invaded the border regions. They requested the imperial court to send troops to defend against the enemy. Without verifying the military situation, Prime Minister Fan Zi and Wang Bu hastily dispatched Zhao Quanzhiyan, leading the palace guards, to march northward to resist the invasion. During the military campaign, Zhao Quanzhiyan, seizing the opportunity, orchestrated a pointed on the yellow robe, forcing Chai Songsen to abdicate and establish the Song Dynasty, known as the Northern Song. This event is historically referred to as the Chanqiya Yibian Chanqiao Station Mutiny. At that time, apart from the newly established Song Dynasty, there were also various regional powers such as the later Shu, Southern Han, Southern Tang, Wu Yu, and Northern Han. Since the inception of the Song Dynasty, Zhao Quanzhiyan initiated the process of unifying the entire country. The Northern Song successfully eliminated the Southern Ping Jingnan, later Shu, and Southern Han, and in the 8th year of Kaiba 975, they defeated the formidable Southern Chang. Subsequently, Wu Yu and local powers in Fujian, Shangguan, and other areas began to submit to the Song Dynasty. Finally, after extinguishing Northern Han, the Northern Song achieved basic national unification, gradually bringing an end to the chaotic situation of the time. On the night of the 19th day of the 10th month in the 9th year of Kaiba 976, Zhao Quanzhiyan invited his younger brother, Zhao Guangji, to the palace for a drink. At that time, Zhao Quanzhiyan was in good health, but after consuming alcohol, he felt fatigue and decided to lie down to rest. Eunuchs and palace maidens were all dismissed and left, leaving Zhao Guangji to personally attend to his older brother. Observers only saw from a distance that Zhao Quanzhiyan and Zhao Guangji exchanged some words. Subsequently, as the candlelight flickered, it seemed that Zhao Guangji withdrew from the seat. Later, they heard the sound of a jade axe piercing through the snow, and Zhao Guangjian's loud voice saying, "It is good, it is good." When dawn approached, Zhao Guangji urgently called for people, gathered the imperial princes, and announced that Zhao Guangjian had passed away. In the morning of the 21st day, Zhao Guangji immediately ascended the throne in front of the coffin. Breaking from the customary practice of changing the reign title the following year, he promptly declared a new era, naming it Chaibingxingwo, Alliance of Chanyuan. During the later Jin period of the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms, Emperor Shi Jingtang of later Jin ceded the 16 provinces of Yuyan in the north to the Khitan-led Liao dynasty. In an effort to reclaim the lost territories, the Northern Song Dynasty engaged in prolonged warfare with the Liao dynasty. Since the reign of Emperor Chaizong of Song, the Northern Song had engaged in multiple conflicts with the Liao, yet the recovery of the lost lands remained elusive. In the first year of Jing 1004, the Song Dynasty achieved victory over the Liao forces. Emperor Shanzong of Song and the Liao Dynasty concluded a ceasefire and treaty in Chenshu, known as the Treaty of Chanyuan. The agreement designated the Song and Liao as brotherly states. stipulating that the Song Dynasty would annually present the Liao with 100,000 taels of silver and 200,000 bolts of silk. Henceforth, a degree of tranquility prevailed in northern China. This alliance between Song and Liao came to be known as the Treaty of Chanyuan. In the second year of King 1042, the annual tribute was increased to 100,000 taels of silver and 100,000 bolts of silk. The term percent was changed to tribute each year. The northern Song paid this annual tribute to the Liao, ensuring a non-aggression pact between the two states. Following this alliance, the northern Song experienced significant economic development as the crisis on the border was alleviated. In later years, during the reign of Emperor Renzong, another 700 li of land in Haidong was ceded to the Liao. The Treaty of Chanyuan was a diplomatic agreement between the northern Song Dynasty and the Liao Dynasty, reached after multiple conflicts. For the northern Song, the Treaty of Chanyuan was deemed an equal contract, where a meager annual tribute secured prolonged peace. This allowed the Song to focus its main energy and resources on domestic development and the military affairs in the northwest. For the Liao, it was also an advantageous treaty. At the time, internal disturbances brewed within the Liao, making a timely exit from entanglements with the southern Song regime a prudent move. From the perspective of the entire Chinese nation's historical development, the Treaty of Chanyuan had its positive aspects. It concluded decades of war between the Liao and Song, placing the border regions between them in a relatively peaceful state for an extended period. This was conducive to the production and development of the border areas and, in the long run, beneficial to the development and integration of various ethnic groups in China. Kengui New Policy. During the period from the first year of Kangding 1040 to the second year of Kengui 1042 of Emperor Renzong of Song, the Western Xia Emperor Yu Yuanhao launched several large-scale military attacks against the Song. Both sides suffered significant losses, leading to the signing of a peace treaty in the fourth year of Kengui 1044, known as the Kengui Peace Treaty. The treaty stipulated that Yuan had renounced his imperial title and accept the Song's investiture. The Song agreed to provide Western Xia with an annual tribute of 72,000 taels of silver, 153,000 bolts of silk, and 30,000 pounds of tea, referred to as the annual gift. Border trade between the two states was also opened. After the signing of the Kengui Peace Treaty, the northwest border remained calm for over 20 years, signing reforms. The internal and external challenges prompted a faction of relatively enlightened rulers to advocate for reform. During the period from Emperor Renzong to Emperor Shenzong, the northern Song Dynasty experienced a gradual stabilization of society, an unprecedented expansion of the economy, and a flourishing culture. In the year 1067, Emperor Shenzong ascended to the throne with a determination to implement reforms. In the first year of the signing year 1068, Wang Anchi was summoned to Kaifeng to oversee the reform work. In the second year of signing 1069, Wang Anchi was appointed as the chancellor, and the implementation of new policies began. A faction supporting the reforms, including figures like Liao Huiging, Shang Dan, and Kai Tiu, gradually took shape. The new policies of Emperor Sha and Wang Anchi were progressively put into effect after the second year of signing. In the spring of the second year of signing 1070, the Regulations Office for the three departments was established to deliberate and formulate reforms. In summary, the new laws can be broadly categorized into two aspects: enriching the country and strengthening the military. However, due to the overwhelming strength of conservative forces, Wang Anchi's two attempts to implement the new laws both ended in failure. During the Yuan era of Emperor Shizong, Emperor Ska, the consort of Emperor Yingzong, completely abolished the new laws, and the Song Dynasty reverted to its original mode of governance. At this point, the northern Song Dynasty began its decline. Objectively, the new laws aligned with the interests of farmers and small to medium-sized landowners, while relatively suppressing the power of large bureaucrats and wealthy merchants. However, this struggle ultimately ended in failure. Furthermore, it evolved into a power struggle among bureaucratic groups, completely losing the significance of reform. The disputes between the new and old party members persisted until the fall of the northern Song Dynasty. Subsequently, in an effort to ease internal conflicts within the ruling group, Emperor Shenzong of the Song Dynasty weakened measures to restrain bureaucratic landlords. Instead, he focused more on increasing tax revenues and strengthening military preparations, attempting to change the weak defensive position against external threats and achieving victories in wars against the Liao and Xie dynasties. During the Yuanfeng era, as the Northern Song Dynasty faced consecutive failures in wars against Western Xia, Emperor Shenzong died in frustration in the 8th year of Yuanfeng 1085. After Emperor Shenzong's death, his 10-year-old son, Emperor Shizong, ascended to the throne. Empress Dowager Gao served as regent and appointed Sima Guang as the prime minister. All the new laws were abolished, and reformist figures were expelled and exiled. This period is known as the Yuan Reform. After Emperor Shizong took over the government, he reinstated reformist figure Shang Duan as a minister and revived the new laws. Uprisings everywhere. After Emperor Heizong Shaoji succeeded to the throne, facing the weakened Northern Song Dynasty, he began to reform the court. However, a year later, he gradually neglected state affairs, leading to the downfall of the Northern Song Dynasty. To address financial difficulties, Emperor Heizong established the Sichang Coalition Office in the first year of Shang 1111, specializing in extracting wealth from the people. Unable to bear heavy taxes, the farmers and fishermen around Liangshan could only resist by arming themselves, turning Liangshan into a stronghold for peasant uprisings. The leader of the uprising, Song Zhang, initially used Liangshan as a base and persisted in the struggle for 4 to 5 years until officially declaring the uprising in the first year of Shuan 1119. After leaving Liangshan, they waged war in the areas of Hebei and Shandong. In the 3rd year of Shuan 1121, Song Zhang and the rebel army arrived by boat in Heizhou, became trapped in a siege by the Song army, and with no way out, surrendered to the Northern Song Dynasty. Due to the corruption of officials and the late Northern Song Dynasty, people rose up in rebellion. In October of the 2nd year of Shuan 1120, Fang La led a rebellion in Xixian village, Shaxiang County, Anhui, establishing a peasant regime that included 52 counties in 6 provinces, including Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Anhui, and Jiangxi. The uprising had a significant impact at the time, and although it failed in the summer of the 3rd year of Shuan, Fang La was captured and executed by the court. The Fang La uprising severely undermined the rule of the Song Dynasty. Zhenkang Incident. As early as the 1st year of Shang 1111, Emperor Heizong of the Song Dynasty sent the eunuch Tongguan to Liao to understand the political situation in the Liao dynasty. During this diplomatic mission, Tongguan encountered a man named Ma Zi from Yan, who presented a strategy to take over Yan and was highly appreciated by Tongguan. He was then renamed Li Liangxi by Changguan and brought back to Kaifang. Li Liangxi informed Emperor Heizong about the extravagance and political corruption of Emperor Tianzhou of the Liao dynasty, expressing deep-seated hatred of the Khitan by the Jurchen people. Li Liangxi suggested that if they could cross the sea from Danglai and form an alliance with the Jurchen tribe, they could jointly attack the Liao dynasty, making it possible to seize Yanjing. Emperor Heizong was very pleased with this plan, bestowed the surname Zhao upon him, and initiated a series of activities to obtain Yanjing. As the Liao dynasty faced the imminent threat of the Jin dynasty's invasion, Emperor Heizong, Kai Jing, and others believed that the opportunity to join forces with the Jurchens and jointly recover the 16 provinces of Yan and Yan had matured. Therefore, in the first year of Chong 1118, the Song court, under the pretext of buying horses, sent envoys to Liaodong Viada to discuss the joint attack on the Liao dynasty with the Jin dynasty. In the 2nd year of Shuan 1120, the Song court again sent envoys, including Shang Liangxi, to the Jin dynasty, and thus the sea treaty was signed between the two states. The military campaigns against the Liao dynasty further exposed the political corruption and military incompetence of the Song dynasty. In the 7th year of Shuan, after the Jin forces conquered the Liao dynasty, they took advantage of the victory to march south and attack the Song dynasty. Emperor Heizong hastily abdicated in favor of his son, Crown Prince Huan Emperor Tianzong, and assumed the title of retired emperor. After the fall of the Liao dynasty, the Jin dynasty took advantage of its victory to invade the Northern Song dynasty. The capital city of Dongjing Kaifeng was captured, and the resistance spirit among the Kaifeng military and civilians was high, with as many as 300,000 people demanding to participate in the war. The Zheng army did not dare to rigorously occupy the entire city and proposed a peace treaty, attempting to extort the Song Dynasty. Emperor Qinzong of the Song Dynasty dispatched Prime Minister He to the Zheng camp to seek peace. But Wanyan Zonghan and Wanyan Zongwang insisted that Emperor Qinzong personally come to negotiate the cession of territory and payment of indemnities. Faced with no other option, Emperor Qinzong went to the Zheng camp to surrender, presenting a surrender document and following the Zhen's orders. He ordered the various loyalist troops to stop advancing toward Kaifeng and ruthlessly suppress the spontaneously organized resistance by the people. The Zhen army then extensively plundered the treasuries inside and outside the imperial palace, as well as the gold, silver, money, and silk from officials and commoners. It was the harsh winter season with heavy snowfall, and the people of Kaifeng, who had been plundered and left destitute, suffered merciless attacks from hunger and cold. The surrender policy of the decadent rulers of the Song Dynasty brought indescribable disasters to the people of Kaifeng. In the second year of Zhenggong 1127, in January, the Zhen army successively detained Emperor Heisong and Emperor Qinzong in their camp. On the 6th day of the second month, the Zhen ruler issued a decree, deposing Emperor Heisong and Emperor Qinzong the commoners and installing the former Song Dynasty Prime Minister Zhang Bangkan, who colluded with the Zhen, as the pseudo-true emperor. On the first day of the fourth month, the Zhen army captured more than 3,000 people, including the two emperors, consorts, princes, imperial family members, and nobles, and withdrew to the north. The imperial seal, court attire, legal objects, ritual instruments, celestial globe, and other valuables of the Song Dynasty imperial family were also looted and carried away. This marked the historical event known as the Zhenggong Incident, leading to the demise of the northern Song Dynasty. In the second year of Zhenggong 1127, Emperor Heisong and Emperor Qinzong, along with more than 3,000 royal family members in Kaifeng, were captured by the Zhen forces. Shaogu, the ninth son of Emperor Heisong, escaped this fate as he had been appointed as the Grand Marshal of the northern military region to recruit troops in Hebei. He soon ascended the throne in Yingtian and faced continued pursuit by the Zhen forces. He fled to Yangzhou and, under duress, embarked on a sea journey. Eventually, he found refuge in Linnan present-day Hangzhou, establishing the southern Song dynasty with himself as Emperor Gaozong. After being taken captive, Emperors Heisong and Qinzong died in the Zhen dynasty in 1135 and 1156, respectively. Part 3. Territorial Scope. The border between the Song dynasty and the Liao dynasty had long been stabilized along the line of Yanmen Mountain, Damiao Mountain, and Baigu. After losing the protective barrier of the 16 provinces in Yan and Yan, the imperial court had to plant willow trees extensively along the border. In terms of fighting against the Western Xia, Emperor Shanzong attempted to expand the territory and gain control of provinces such as Sui, Shi, He, Changmen, and Lan. During the reign of Emperor Shizong, further territories in the Huan River Basin and areas along the upper reaches of the Chang River and Guide were acquired. In the third year of Chang in 1104, the Song court established the Protectorate General of Longyu to recover the Hexi corridor. In the third year of Xuan 1121, Xi'an and Huidang were taken by the Western Xia. In the fifth year of Xuan 1123, the Song court paid a considerable sum to the Zhen dynasty to redeem the 7 provinces of Yunyan. The Song dynasty also established provinces such as Li, Su, Lu, Qian, and Yong at the border with Dali. During the northern Song dynasty, regulations were put in place to limit the power of local officials, ensuring they could not concurrently hold positions in more than one jurisdiction. Additionally, the military, financial, and judicial authority of local jurisdictions was placed under the control of the central government. It was mandated that the chief officials of provinces and counties should be civilian officials, and a separate position called Tangpan was established alongside the chief officials to create a system of mutual checks and balances. Subsequently, the entire country was divided into 15 routes, each with its own administrative officials, including transport commissioners, judicial supervisors, pacification commissioners, and constant stability supervisors. collectively referred to as jiangji. These positions were also held by civilian officials, though occasionally military personnel were appointed as pacification commissioners. Officials at the root, provincial, and county levels were appointed by central government officials and served on a temporary basis, following a rotation policy known as appointing officials from the capital and court every 3 years. This arrangement ensured that the power of local officials was decentralized, their terms were short, and their military capabilities were weakened, preventing them from challenging the authority of the central government. Part 4. Political System. Central Institutions. The political system of the Song Dynasty largely followed the political structure of the Chang Dynasty. However, the position of the chancellor was no longer held by the heads of the three ministries, but a separate position of chancellor of the central secretariat was created for the chancellor. Additionally, the position of counselor-in-chief, also known as shizhen, was established as a deputy chancellor, collectively referred to as chancellor and counselors. The authority of the chancellors in the Song Dynasty was significantly reduced, focusing primarily on administrative functions. The central secretariat and the military command shared power and were collectively referred to as the two departments. 3 new offices sold: Iron Office, Ministry of Revenue HB, and Directorate of Finance DCH, were established to manage financial matters and were collectively known as the 3 departments. These 3 offices, along with the chancellor and councillors and the military command, served as checks and balances against each other, weakening the authority of the chancellors and strengthening imperial authority. The Song government also expanded the oversight structure beyond the censorship by adding the Remonstrance Bureau and appointing remonstrance officials to handle matters related to censure and criticism. Through these reforms, the emperor was able to consolidate power. In the northern Song government, a strategy of decentralizing administrative powers was employed. The position of chancellor was divided among multiple officials, and in addition to the chancellor, positions such as military commissioner Shimishi, counselor-in-chief, and the heads of the 3 departments were established to segregate military, political, and financial authority. This arrangement allowed the emperor to wield more power than in previous dynasties. In addition, the Song Dynasty implemented a system where official titles were separate from actual duties, known as the official title, position, and assignment system. The official title, such as Shangshu Chief of the Secretariat or Shirang Assistant, was merely an honorary rank used for hierarchical purposes and salary determination. The position, also known as tizi or honorary positions, bestowed an honorific title on some civil officials without granting them actual responsibilities, such as Sushi Imperial Academy Scholar or Shich Direct Cabinet. The assignment, or chuanzi, represented the actual duties held by officials, often referred to as functional positions, including roles like Shimishi Military Commissioner or Sangxishi 3 Department Hall. Ordinary officials would be designated with terms like Pan, Xi, Quan, Guanggu, or Tiji before their specific duties, such as Panshi Office Judge, Shizhou Prefect, or Tiji Chanbing Director of the Constant Peace. This system aimed to centralize authority and was part of the Northern Song Dynasty's measures to address the dominance of regional warlords since the Middle Tang Dynasty and the 5 dynasties, contributing significantly to maintaining national unity and objectively facilitating socio-economic development. However, while these measures resolved conflicts between the central government and local warlords, they also sowed the seeds of accumulated poverty and weakness, governance by literati. Through reforms, the Northern Song Dynasty adopted a national policy of governing by literary talents and established a rule of scholars. Emperor Taizong regarded the imperial examination system as the fundamental method for selecting talents, allowing individuals from humble origins or rural backgrounds to enter the court if they excelled in their studies. Civil officials held the highest administrative positions both centrally and locally, surpassing military officials in status. In this system, the military was subject to frequent changes in leadership, and leadership was also subject to frequent changes within the military. Furthermore, due to the effective implementation of Taizong's teachings by the emperors of the Song Dynasty, ministers and civil officials found empowered to express their opinions, leading to a certain degree of constraint on imperial authority. Ministers had greater involvement in decision-making and policy execution compared to previous dynasties. Debates between sovereign and ministers were frequent within the court, and scholars played a guiding role in society. This enlightened political atmosphere contributed to the emergence of politically idealistic, culturally innovative, morally committed, and socially protected intellectuals. Such a comparatively enlightened political climate was rare in other dynasties, providing robust assurance for the rapid development of the Song Dynasty official selection system. In the realm of imperial examinations, Teizu broke with tradition by introducing the palace examination Daiyanshi as the final assessment for candidates. This innovative approach contributed to the expansion of the bureaucratic class during the Northern Song Dynasty, yielding a significant number of outstanding politicians and consolidating political power. After the establishment of the Northern Song Dynasty, numerous measures were gradually implemented to tighten examination procedures, increase the number of admissions, and improve the treatment of successful candidates. The dynasty extensively incorporated intellectuals from the landlord class into the political power structure. Starting from the later period of Emperor Teizu's reign, after passing the Ministry of Rites examination, candidates were required to undergo the palace examination personally presided over by the emperor to be considered qualified. Those admitted became known as the emperor's students. During Emperor Taizong's 21-year reign, nearly 10,000 individuals obtained official positions through the imperial examination system. Emperor Ranzong's 41-year reign saw 4,517 individuals securing official positions solely through the provincial examination. The vast number of intellectuals from the landlord class became loyal servants of the feudal state, consolidating the ruling foundation of the Song Dynasty judicial system. During the Five Dynasties period, there was little semblance of a judicial system, with warlords acting arbitrarily and abusing their power. Human life was treated with little regard, and the Ministry of Justice was virtually non-existent. In contrast, the Song Dynasty re-established a judicial system, centralizing significant authority and instituting strict legal procedures. It was mandated that all death penalties required central approval after regional submission for review. The judicial system was essentially brought back under central control, capital. Shao Kuanzhiyan, posthumously known as Teizu, established the capital in Kaifeng, referred to as Dongjing East capital. He maintained Luoyang as Shijing West capital. Emperor Shanzong established Shangti as the auxiliary capital, known as Nanjing, southern capital, while Emperor Ranzong designated Beisheng as Daming prefecture. Subsequently, Kaifeng became the political, economic, transportation, and cultural center of the country. It thrived as the most prosperous commercial metropolis globally. The populations of Dongjing, Shijing, and Nanjing each exceeded 1 million, making it the largest city at that time. The city streets were bustling with numerous workshops, shops, inns, and stalls, creating a vibrant atmosphere. Part 5. Military. At the outset of the establishment of the Song Dynasty by Emperor Teizu, Shao Kuanzhiyan, various policies were formulated to avoid the chaos of regional warlordism and unique dominance that characterized the latest stages of the Tang Dynasty. Primarily in the military domain, in the second year of the Zhanglong year 961 AD, Emperor Teizu employed the cup of wine to relinquish military authority approach. He relieved powerful military commanders, such as Shishixan and Wang Shanti, of control over the army and established the Central Imperial Guard. Elite troops from various regions were brought under the jurisdiction of the Imperial Guard in the capital. Simultaneously, the highest commandership of the Imperial Guard was abolished, including the positions of commanders-in-chief, deputy commanders-in-chief, and commanders of the cavalry and infantry guards. The Imperial Guard, previously divided into two departments, the Bureau of the Guards and the Bureau of Guard Cavalry and Infantry, was reorganized into the three Ya, comprising the Bureau of the Guards, the Bureau of Guard Cavalry, and the Bureau of Guard Infantry. Leaders of the three Ya were appointed from individuals with relatively less experience and were frequently rotated. Although these leaders commanded the troops, matters such as troop deployment and relocation was subject to the authority of the Council of Military Affairs or the Military Secretariat. Additionally, the rotational garrison system was implemented, wherein the station locations of the Imperial Guard were changed every few years, while the commanders remained unchanged. This prevented the military from being privately owned by commanders and ended the era of military commanders' unruly behavior, giving the Song Dynasty complete control over its armed forces. To strengthen centralized power and prevent commanders from seizing power, in March of the second year of the Zhonglong era, Emperor Chaizu abolished the crucial position of commanders-in-chief. In July of the same year, he used the cup of wine ceremony to remove military authority from military officials. The leadership structure of the Imperial Guard was reorganized into the Bureau of the Guards and the Bureau of Guard Cavalry and Infantry, led respectively by commanders of the Guards, Infantry, and Cavalry. However, these three commanders were not granted the authority to deploy troops. To manage military affairs centrally, the Song Dynasty established the Council of Military Affairs, which directly reported to the emperor, and no other officials were allowed to intervene. Although the Council of Military Affairs had the power to deploy troops, it could not directly command the military, resulting in the separation of command and deployment authority. Additionally, the Song Dynasty frequently rotated military commanders to prevent the emergence of personal influence within the military. The deployment of military forces by the Song Dynasty can be characterized as a strategy of strengthening the strong and weakening the weak in defending the internal and appearing weak externally. The military of the Song Dynasty was divided into four categories: the Imperial Guard Zhenzhen, garrison troops Shiyangzhen, local militias Shangbing, and frontier troops Fangbing. The Imperial Guard, also known as the Central Army, constituted the main force of the Song military. Garrison troops were regional forces controlled by local officials, local militias were drafted from the population, and frontier troops were non-Han ethnic militias stationed on the borders. Following the policy of strengthening the internal and appearing weak externally, the rulers of the northern Song Dynasty deployed their military strategically. Half of the Imperial Guard was stationed in the capital and its vicinity, while the rest was distributed across the crucial regions of the country, primarily for suppressing the population. A relatively small number of Imperial Guard troops was stationed on the borders, and the passive defensive approach was gradually adopted against the Liao and western Xia states. Emperor Chaizong of the Song Dynasty once remarked, "If a country has no external worries, it will surely face internal troubles. External worries are only border issues, which can be prevented, but internal troubles caused by treacherous elements are deeply fearsome. The emperor must be vigilant against this." Part 6. Economic, agricultural development. Progress in production technology. During the Northern Song period, southern farmers commonly used treadwheel irrigation devices, such as the long-bone turning cart, which was more powerful than traditional water wheels. Another device, the tube cart, was used to transport water uphill and irrigate mountain fields. The SI water cart by Fan Zhongyan mentioned instruments resembling machinery, water flowing through wheels, reflecting the use of wheel and water-powered tube carts. The government of the Northern Song promoted the use of the tread plow in areas with a shortage of draft animals. The tread plow was a more efficient manual tool for turning soil, equivalent to half the productivity of oxen plowing. This played a role in addressing the challenges of plowing in regions with insufficient animal power. In the Northern Song Dynasty's tombs, groups of iron agricultural tools were often discovered, including plows, harrows, hoes, sickles, and more. Among these, there were a significant number of inter-road tillage tools like harrows and hoes, indicating the farmer's emphasis on meticulous cultivation and an increase in farming procedures. Northern Song farmers also paid close attention to manure accumulation and fertilization. They recognized that different soils required different types of organic fertilizers. Emphasizing that using manure is like using medicine, they also understood the relationship between planting depth, spacing, and yield. Specialized works on agricultural knowledge, such as crop planting manuals, agricultural tool guides, and sericulture books, emerged, reflecting the improvement in agricultural production technology. Water conservancy projects. During the reign of Emperor Chaizong in the Northern Song, embankments were constructed in the Hebei region with a 600-mile-long dike equipped with sluice gates to divert and irrigate water for rice cultivation, resulting in abundant harvests. Significant achievements in water conservancy were also made in the southern regions. Large-scale projects included the Jiangbai Seawall, the Zhaoshan Seawall in Shijiang, the Qiangdong River Embankment, and West Lake. the Qianzheng River embankment underwent multiple constructions, with the most successful being during the reign of Emperor Shanzong. Learning from the experience of the 5 dynasties, stones were placed in bamboo baskets and stacked to form the embankment. Wooden piles were driven outside the embankment, enhancing its ability to resist tidal erosion. The West Lake, irrigating over 1,000 hectares of farmland, had fallen into disrepair over time. During the reign of Emperor Shizong, Sushi, serving as the magistrate of Hangzhou, supervised the dredging project of West Lake, benefiting nearby farmland. Additionally, the Minlan Embankment in Pushan County, Fujian, was another notable engineering feat. The Minlan Embankment, with a large dam measuring 80 meters wide, over 10 meters high, and more than 160 meters long, effectively controlled floods, stored water, and provided irrigation, ensuring stable agricultural yields for thousands of hectares of farmland. Its durability showcased the wisdom and creativity of the working people, adapting to local conditions. Northern Song farmers overcame the limitations of natural conditions and, according to local conditions, cultivated vast fertile lands in mountainous areas, along rivers, and by the sea. In the southern regions, embankment fields saw further development, expanding in scale. The well-known Wenchen Embankment in Wuhu County, now part of Anhui, covered an area of 127,000 acres. Additionally, farmers created various new types of fields such as hillside fields, silt fields, sandy fields, and elevated fields. During Emperor Chaisong's reign, the total cultivated land in the country was about 3.1 million hectares, increasing to about 5.5 million hectares during Emperor Shanzong's reign and continuously growing thereafter. Promotion and exchange of crops. With the unification of the Northern Song, various crop varieties from the north and south were exchanged. In the early Northern Song years, the government encouraged the planting of major northern grains such as millet, wheat, sorghum, and beans in regions from Jiangnan to Fujian and Guangdong. Superior varieties of rice were also promoted, with the most famous being the Shancheng rice introduced from Vietnam to Fujian and later spread to the Zhanghui and northern regions. The cultivation of economic crops such as sugarcane, cotton, tea, and mulberry expanded handicraft industry. During the Northern Song period, there was significant progress in handicraft production, with bean embroidery and song embroidery being particularly famous. Workshops in various handicraft industries surpassed previous generations in scale and internal specialization. Technological advancements led to an increase in the variety, quantity, and quality of products. The most outstanding achievements were seen in the various types of porcelain produced during the Northern Song. Porcelain. Northern Song porcelain experienced significant improvements in both production quantity and technology compared to previous dynasties. Kilns for firing porcelain were spread across the country, each producing porcelain with unique characteristics. The 5 major famous kilns of the Northern Song were Guang Kiln, Zhang Kiln, Ru Kiln, Ding Kiln, and Zhi Kiln. The products of Guang Kiln had fine textures, thin bodies, a bluish color with a slight pink hue, and varying levels of saturation. Zhang Kiln had fine textures and 5 color glazes with hairs for patterns. Ru Kiln was known for its rouge and vermilion glazes, clear and translucent. Ding Kiln, famous for white porcelain, also produced exquisite red porcelain. Zhi Kiln, run by Shang Shangyi, and his brother's second kiln were renowned for producing celadon, described as dozens of peaks in emerald hues. During Emperor Shenzong's reign, an official kiln was established in Zenbing, Jiangxi, producing tribute porcelain with the inscription made during the Jing era, which later became known as the renowned Jingdezhen porcelain. In the field of ceramics during the Northern Song period, the innovation of carving and painting patterns on porcelain emerged. Various techniques were employed, such as carving with knives, embroidery with needles, printing with blocks, incising patterns with a sharp tool, and creating raised patterns with brushes dipped in powder before applying white glaze. Northern Song porcelain not only serve as daily necessities, but also evolve into exquisite works of artistic craftsmanship. A large quantity of Northern Song porcelain was exported abroad, and numerous artifacts have been unearthed in regions across Asia and Africa, attesting to the significance of porcelain as a major export product of that era. Song porcelain has since become renowned as a masterpiece of ancient Chinese art, celebrated both domestically and internationally. Mining and smelting. During the Northern Song period, the scale of mining and metallurgy for gold, silver, copper, iron, lead, and coal was considerable. The important iron smelting center, Liao Monitor in northeast Shizhou, had 36 ironworks with around 4,000 miners. Copper and lead were abundant in the vicinity of Xinzhou, Jiangxi, with over 10,000 people recruited for continuous mining, yielding tens of millions of pounds of copper and lead. At the Fancheng iron smelting site in Anhui, there were large piles of discarded iron approximately 2 meters high, covering an area of 750 square meters, reflecting the scale of metallurgical activities at that time. With an expansion in mining and metallurgy, there was a significant increase in the quantity of products. For example, during Emperor Shenzong's reign, the annual taxes for copper exceeded 14 million pounds, and for silver, it was over 200,000 taels. Based on the government's tax rate of 1/5, it can be inferred that the annual production of copper exceeded 70 million pounds and silver exceeded 1 million taels, surpassing the output during the Song Dynasty by several times. Additionally, there were notable advancements in mining and metallurgical technologies, silk industry. The Northern Song textile industry mainly included silk, hemp, and wool sectors, with silk weaving remaining predominant. The regions of Zhejiang and Sichuan were the most developed in silk weaving, and along the entire coastal area from Hebei East Road to Jiangnan East Road, there was a considerable scale of silk weaving. Various types of silk fabrics were produced, including over 20 types of damasks and 4 to 5 dozen types of brocades. Numerous treasures were produced across different regions, such as engineering shoe brocades, which were popular nationwide, and Dingzhou Kaisi embroidery silk, intricately woven with colorful threads into lifelike flowers, birds, and animals resembling sculptures. This silk was considered a masterpiece. Additionally, there was the thin gauze of Danzhou modern-day Shankanti and Hannon, each piece weighing only 4 liang and appearing mist-like, among others. In certain regions with well-developed silk industries, independent workshops emerged, operating as family handicraft workshops, producing goods for sale, reflecting new developments in the silk industry, canal transport, and shipbuilding. With the establishment of the Northern Song capital in Kaifang, the transportation of goods through the southeastern canal system became crucial. Boats were indispensable for this transport, and the prosperity of overseas trade further drove advancements in shipbuilding. Government-operated workshops primarily focused on building transport ships, including canal boats, warships, and troop transport ships. Private workshops produced commercial ships and pressure boats. As an example, during Emperor Shenzong's reign, the annual production of canal boats exceeded 2,900. The size and carrying capacity of Northern Song ships were considerable, with a large ocean-going ship built during Emperor Heizong's reign, known as the Divine Vessel, estimated to carry over 20,000 shi, approximately 100 tons of cargo. These ships had pointed bottoms, providing advantages in deep draft and strong resistance to wind and waves. The main mast of an ocean-going ship was 10 shang, approximately 33 meters high, and the foremast was 8 shang, approximately 26 meters high, with a total of 110 sails. The ship was divided into 3 holds, each further divided into 4 compartments. This compartmentalized water-resistant design was an innovation by Chinese shipbuilders. In the Northern Song period, the government established numerous shipbuilding facilities distributed across present-day Jiangxi, Zhejiang, Hunan, Shaanxi, among other places. Notable shipbuilding bases included Tianzhong modern-day Ganzhou in Jiangxi, Zhizhong modern-day Jian, Wenzhou in Zhejiang, and Mingzhou modern-day Ningbo. During Emperor Taizong's reign, the annual shipbuilding output nationwide already exceeded 3,300 vessels, surpassing the Song Dynasty by a wide margin. Northern Song shipbuilding held a leading position globally during that era. In foreign trade, both Chinese and foreign merchants predominantly used vessels manufactured in China. Changes in the status of craftsmen. During the Northern Song period, the identity and status of craftsmen underwent changes in both government-operated and private handicraft workshops. Private workshops employed hired craftsmen who received money and rice as wages, and the amount varied depending on different periods and sectors. In state-owned workshops, craftsmen were conscripted, including those who were originally military personnel and retained their military status. There were also craftsmen recruited from civilian sources and hired artisans. Additionally, there was a category known as dancing or lincha, which were craftsmen serving in an auxiliary capacity. These craftsmen, unlike their counterparts in the Tang Dynasty known as fanjiang, were not serving without compensation, but were paid a certain amount as wages. In some production sectors, such as corn casting workshops, a system similar to piece rate payment for wages emerged. These circumstances indicated a relaxation of the feudal constraints on craftsmen during the Northern Song Dynasty. Business development. Silver and Zhaocha. The world's earliest paper money appeared in the early Northern Song Dynasty in the Sichuan region. Northern Song's paper money included Zhaocha, Qianian, and Shuocha. With the development of commodity exchange in the Northern Song Dynasty, the volume of currency in circulation significantly increased. During the Chang Xuanzong's Tianba era, 320,000 strings of coins were minted annually, while the Northern Song Dynasty, starting from the reign of Emperor Chaisong, reached 800,000 strings per year. This figure gradually rose, reaching over 6 million strings in the 6th year of Emperor Shenzong's signing era Chan 73. In addition to copper and iron coins, gold and silver were also used as semi-circulating currencies. Silver was increasingly utilized in the collection of taxes, payment of official salaries, and foreign trade. In major cities, there were establishments such as gold and silver shops and exchange houses specializing in the buying and selling of precious metals and currency exchange. The proportion of silver in national tax revenue gradually increased, reaching over 8,839,000 taels in the year Chan 21 Tiangxi 5th year and 18.6 million taels in the second year of the Xuan era 1120. Although gold circulated, it did not hold a significant position. During the Northern Song Dynasty, China witnessed the emergence of the earliest paper currency in the world known as jiaozi. After the establishment of the Northern Song Dynasty, the Sichuan region extensively used iron coins. Due to the inconvenience of carrying heavy iron coins, in the late 10th century, the so-called jiaozi shops appeared in the Chengdu market, issuing paper currency jiaozi as a substitute for iron coins in circulation. In the winter of the first year of the Rensong Qianshang era Chan 23, the government, recognizing the profitability of issuing jiaozi, officially established the jiaozi service, under the pretext of continuous disputes among merchants. It took control of the issuance of jiaozi, using 360,000 strings of iron coins as a reserve, and issued it regularly with circulation limited to Sichuan. In the Heizong area, jiaozi was renamed Qianian and its circulation area expanded. However, due to insufficient reserves, massive printing occurred, leading to significant harm to the people. Commercial tax monopoly. Due to the flourishing commerce, the Northern Song government placed special emphasis on commercial taxes. Institutions such as markets and offices were established nationwide, dedicated to tax collection. Song era commercial taxes were divided into two types: transit tax, levied at a rate of 2 per hundred on the value, targeting itinerant merchants, and residence tax, levied at a rate of 3 per hundred on the value for stationary traders. In addition to regular taxes, there were various miscellaneous taxes. With the prosperity of commerce, commercial taxes became an increasingly important source of government revenue. During the Jing reign of Emperor Shenzong, commercial taxes amounted to only 4.5 million strings of coins. By the time of Emperor Renzong, it had increased to 22 million strings. To extract more wealth, the Northern Song government implemented a monopoly on salt, tea, wine, alum, and other commodities. This meant that the government controlled the production and monopolized the sale of these items. While the monopoly system brought considerable profits to the feudal government, it negatively impacted the normal development of private industry and commerce. Urban economy. The regular markets that began to appear in major cities during the Tang Dynasty, known as cow markets and zone markets, had become widespread in large, medium, and small cities during the Song Dynasty. In the north, they were called collective markets, while in the south, they were referred to as marketplaces or zoo. Regular markets also emerged in rural areas, contributing to the overall economic landscape of the cities. During the Northern Song Dynasty, the number of cities with populations exceeding 100,000 households increased from over 10 in the Tang Dynasty to more than 40. Among them, Kaifeng, Luoying, Hangzhou, Yangzhou, Zheiming, In Chuan modern-day Shanti and Hainan, Xuzhou, Jingzhou, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Fuzhou, Tanzhou, Changsha, Quanzhou, and others were renowned bustling metropolises. Kaifeng, as the national political and economic center, served as a typical example. With a population of no less than 1 million, the city had over 6,400 shops lining the streets, creating a vibrant and bustling atmosphere with a constant flow of carriages and horses. The market offered a plethora of goods, ranging from everyday items to exotic treasures. In contrast to the cities before the Northern Song, which were generally divided into Fang, residential areas and Shi commercial districts, where trade could only occur in the markets and was restricted to daytime, the Northern Song broke these boundaries. In Kaifeng, shops could be opened anywhere, and there were night markets and dawn markets. Additionally, the concept of wasi or washes or wachi, which included places like Gulan entertainment venues for singing and dancing, taverns, tea houses, storytelling, and theatrical performances, emerged, adding liveliness to the city. Advertising competition. The prosperity of the Song Dynasty's economy fueled market competition, and various industries developed unique business methods. Most merchants engaged in competition using advertising. Merchants during the Song Dynasty possessed a strong awareness of advertising, primarily driven by the pursuit of economic benefits. Objective factors included fierce market competition and the influence of contemporary social and cultural ideologies. Merchants engaged extensively in advertising, leading to various forms such as sound advertising, product display advertising, hanging advertising, media advertising, festival advertising, and more. Overseas trade. During the Tang Dynasty, a market office was only established in Guangzhou for foreign trade affairs. In the Northern Song Dynasty, in addition to Guangzhou, market offices were set up in Hangzhou, Mingzhou, Quanzhou, Mishou, modern-day Shegang in Shandong, and Zhushou, modern-day Jiaxing in Zhejiang, significantly expanding the scale of foreign trade. In the mid-Northern Song period, annual revenue from maritime trade reached 630,000 strings of coins, becoming a crucial source of government finance. The main exported commodities from the Northern Song were silk fabrics, porcelain, metals, while the imported goods included spices, medicinal herbs, ivory, jewelry, and more. The ocean-going vessels of the Song Dynasty, both in terms of ship construction and operational scale, were vast. The labor composition for shipboard operations was also highly differentiated. During the Song and Yuan periods, China's shipbuilding industry surged, producing large-scale vessels in significant quantities. According to Wu Zeng's Dreams of Splendors, in the chapter river and sea vessels, large Chinese sea vessels had a cargo capacity of 10,000 to 12,000 stone, 500 to 600 tons, and could carry 500 to 600 people. Medium-sized vessels had a cargo capacity of 2,000 to 4,000 stone, 100 to 200 ton, and could carry 200 to 300 people. Urban and rural towns. In the development of ancient Chinese cities, a new turning point emerged during the Northern Song Dynasty. Unlike the cities before the Northern Song, which generally had a clear separation between residential and commercial areas, during the Northern Song, the strict boundaries between Fang residential areas and Shi commercial districts were completely broken. With the development of the market economy and the increase in urban population, shops could be opened anywhere, abandoning the centralized approach. Taxation system. The taxation system in the Song Dynasty broadly followed the late Tang Dynasty's tax law, but added the Ding tax. However, the corvée labor was particularly burdensome, leading to the implementation of exemptions during the reforms of Wang Yanji. In the Northern Song, the land tax stipulated taxing landowners per unit of land measurement, collected once each year in summer and autumn following the Tang Dynasty's tax law. In the northern regions, on average, 1 mu of medium quality land could yield 1 stone, requiring a tax of 1 zhu. In the southern regions, due to higher yields, 1 mu was taxed 3 zhou. The Tang Dynasty's tax law was based on the amount of capital for taxation, while the Song Dynasty levied taxes based on the land area. The autumn tax was collected in grain after the autumn harvest, and the summer tax mainly involved money or in-kind payments such as silk, cotton, and cloth. While taxing per mu was the basic standard, actual tax collection involved calculations known as GE branching and Shibian discounting, thereby increasing the actual tax amount. GE required farmers to transport the harvested crops to a designated location during the collection of the autumn tax. If farmers were unwilling to bear the labor of long-distance transportation, they had to pay an additional fee known as GE, essentially a filling fee, and involved converting money and goods during the collection of the summer tax, also increasing the actual tax amount. Officially cultivated fields recruited tenant farmers for cultivation, and the government collected land rent, known as the tax on public fields. However, the official fields themselves were exempt from paying the autumn and summer taxes, which were often imposed on the tenant farmers, increasing the amount of land rent, known as repeated taxation. In the northern Song, the Shandong tax stipulated that men aged 20 to 60 were eligible for taxation. All males within this age range had to pay the Shandong tax in money or seal, alongside the two taxes. The northern Song inherited the harsh and diverse taxes from the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms, merging similar ones under the collective terms of being miscellaneous changes. This included various taxes such as agricultural tools tax, cowhide tax, silk and salt tax, and shoe money, collectively referred to as changing according to their origin and then paying. Miscellaneous taxes also had to be paid along with the two main taxes. Hidi refers to the government's compulsory collection of grains from the civilian population, while Himai involves the government's forced purchase of cloth from the people. Initially, during the implementation of Hidi and Himai, the government assigned the quantities to be forcibly purchased based on the amount of land and paid a specified price. However, later on, it became a practice where the government took these items without providing any payment. Part 7 Culture. The northern Song Dynasty was an era marked by peculiarities and uneven development. On the one hand, despite having a large army, the military strength of the northern Song was weak, often facing disadvantages in conflicts with the Liao and western Xia. Although the economy was highly prosperous, the northern Song government frequently found its treasury empty, struggling to balance income and expenditures. Due to the accumulation of weakness in military affairs and accumulation of poverty in the economy, historians consider it as the weakest dynasty in Chinese history. Su Shan, a prose writer of the northern Song. However, on the other hand, the northern Song was one of the most technologically advanced, culturally prosperous, and artistically flourishing periods in Chinese history. Many significant inventions in Chinese history emerged during the northern Song. Life in major Chinese cities during the 11th and 12th centuries could rival that of any other city in the world. In terms of literature and art, the northern Song produced numerous eminent figures, reaching the pinnacle of achievement. It is considered one of the most culturally prosperous periods in Chinese history. As stated by Chen Ying, the culture of the Chinese nation, after thousands of years of evolution, reached its zenith during the Shao and Song periods. Literature. The imperial examination system of the Song Dynasty provided scholars with the opportunity for independent development. The literary scene of the northern Song was filled with a multitude of outstanding figures. The Ming Dynasty scholar Song Lian remarked, "Since the Qing Dynasty, literature has never been as flourishing as during the Song. Among the 8 masters of Chang and Song, only Han Yu and Liu Song Yuan were from the Chang Dynasty, while the other 6 were from the northern Song. Besides the 3 S's Su Shan, Su Shi, Su Yu, there were also Wang Xiu, Wang Enshi, and Zhang Guang." Although the achievements in poetry during the Song Dynasty may not match those of the Chang Dynasty, they possess distinctive characteristics. Song poetry often leans towards reasoning, with a penchant for discussion and a focus on logical expression. It tends to observe objective phenomena with a calm attitude, employing a scholarly approach to poetry. There is a preference for using allusions, creating an air of scholarly depth. The influence of prose is notable, with the incorporation of prose structures, sentence patterns, and a prose-like tendency in structural methods, narrative techniques, and language styles. The Song Dynasty witnessed the pinnacle of achievement in poetry, which, alongside Chang poetry, is hailed as a gem in classical Chinese literature and art. Originating from Fenggu traditions evolving during the Tang Dynasty, flourishing in the 5 dynasties, and reaching its zenith in the northern and southern Song dynasties, this period is considered the heyday of poetry. Renowned poets from the northern Song include Yan Shu, Wang Xiu, Zhang Xuan, Yan Zhida, Fan Zhangyan, Liu Yong, Xu Shi, Ken Guan, Huang Tenzhiyong, Shou Bianjian, Li Kenzhao, and more. Calligraphy and painting. The Northern Song era witnessed the emergence of many distinguished calligraphers and painters. Su Shi, Huang Kengjian, Mi Fu, and Kai Shiyang are celebrated as the four masters of the Northern Song for their exceptional achievements in calligraphy. Additionally, Emperor Hizong's creation of slender gold script Shizhenshu displayed a distinctive and highly individual style. Notably, the famous painting along the river during the Qingming Festival exemplifies the highest artistic achievements in Chinese landscape painting. This masterpiece by Shang Dynasty depicts the cityscape of Kaifeng, vividly portraying nearly 600 people in a panoramic scroll, making it an immortal work in Chinese art history. Historiography. In historiography, the Northern Song produced the significant works The New Book of Tang Shen Changshu and The New History of the Five Dynasties Shen Wude Shi. Both are narrative histories that focus on annals and biographies. The New Book of Tang, overseen by Wang Xiu, not only supplemented the shortcomings of the Old Book of Tang but also provided valuable insights into Tang history. The New History of the Five Dynasties, written solely by Wang Xiu, covers a broad range of materials and presents a lively narrative. Wang Xiu's clear and concise writing style enhances the readability of these historical works. Simultaneously, the Northern Song Dynasty boasted remarkable achievements in historiography, with the notable work of Sima Guang, who, along with Sima Qian, was collectively referred to as the two Simas. Sima Guang's comprehensive mirror to aid in government Zizi Tangjuan stands as the highest achievement and comprehensive work in the genre of Chinese ancient chronological history. Comprising 294 volumes, it spans from the Warring States period the 403rd of BCE to the end of the Five Dynasties 959 CE, documenting historical events up to the year 1362. The work includes supplementary volumes such as the Catalogue and Examination of Discrepancies, known for its meticulous analysis of the rise and fall of states and the welfare of the people. It is considered an indispensable work by later scholars, as emphasized by Gu Yanglu. Philosophy. In the realm of philosophy, the Northern Song Dynasty surpassed the Tang Dynasty, witnessing the emergence of a group of Neo-Confucian scholars. Neo-Confucianism, also known as the school of Principal Lixiu, focused on exploring principles and the study of nature and life. In the early Northern Song period, scholars such as Shao Yong, Shou Zhuni, Shang Sai, Chang Hao, and Chang Yi were known as the five masters of the Northern Song, contributing significantly to the development of Neo-Confucian philosophy. Part A. Technology. The Northern Song Dynasty made significant strides in technological advancements, contributing to the fields of warfare, navigation, and printing. Gunpowder. The application of gunpowder in warfare began in the late Tang Dynasty and gradually expanded during the Northern Song Dynasty. A specialized institution for manufacturing firearms was established in the capital. Bianjing modern-day Kaifeng, and the knowledge of gunpowder eventually spread to various regions, including Western Asia and Europe. Compass. The compass, during the Northern Song, became widely used in navigation. The technology of using natural magnets for artificial magnetization was mastered during this period, resulting in more stable artificial magnets compared to natural ones. Woodblock printing, movable type printing. Woodblock printing, specifically movable type printing, experienced rapid development during the Northern Song Dynasty. This technology found extensive use in the engraving and printing of books, contributing to the dissemination of knowledge. The books engraved by the state publishing house were later referred to as official editions. The books engraved by private bookshops were called local editions. The imperial capital by Yanliang, Hangzhou in Zhejiang, Zhuangyang in Fujian, and Maishan in Sichuan were all centers of the printing industry. Papermaking technique. During the Northern Song Dynasty, there were various types of paper and materials such as bamboo, rattan, mulberry, and hemp were used in papermaking. Sichuan produced famous varieties like Butujian and Langzhenjian. Shenzhou produced Nengshuang and Changsan. Shuangzhou produced Lebi. Zhejiang produced Tangzi, and Wenzhou produced Huangzi. Shenzhou produced a kind of long paper that was exceptionally well made, measuring 50 feet in length and uniformly thin from beginning to end. Encyclopedic works. Dream Pool Essays is a note-style work written by the Northern Song scientist Shan Kuo, known as an ancient Chinese encyclopedia by Western scholars. Dream Pool essays detail the outstanding contributions of the working people in science and technology, as well as Shan Kuo's own research achievements, reflecting the glorious achievements of natural science in ancient China, especially during the Northern Song period. British historian Joseph Needham praised Dream Pool essays as a milestone in the history of Chinese science, astronomy, and calendar. Song Dynasty astronomer Su Song created the large astronomical instrument called the water-powered astronomical clock tower. It integrated an observation sphere, a celestial globe for demonstrating celestial phenomena, a water clock for measuring time, and a mechanical device for reporting the time. Shen Kuo devised the 12-key calendar, a pure solar calendar system that was both simple and convenient for various production activities, but was not adopted in the heavily traditional ancient times. The modern Gregorian calendar is similar in essence to the 12-key calendar. Medicine. The Song Dynasty was a flourishing period for the development of ancient Chinese pediatrics. Not only did pediatric specialist Tian Yi, hailed as the saintly hand of pediatrics, emerge, but there were also clear understandings and effective treatment methods for smallpox, measles, convulsions, and malnutrition. Before the Song Dynasty, wounds were referred to as golden wounds and fracture therapy, with no clear distinction between surgery and trauma care. It was only during the Song Dynasty that the name of the trauma department became clear, and doctors specializing in bone setting emerged. Mathematics. Shan Kuo's The Art of Accumulating Gaps and the Art of Meeting Circles. Shan Kuo made significant achievements in many areas of mathematics, and the art of accumulating gaps in the art of meeting circles recorded two important research results. Shan Kuo pioneered the study of Chinese calculus. The art of meeting circles involves mathematical formulas for calculating the relationships between chords, arcs, the height of the arc, and their lengths. In the history of Chinese mathematics, Shan Kuo was the first to use chords and arcs to approximate the length of an arc. Part 9. Ethnic Relations. The ethnic policies of the Northern Song in the Song Dynasty differed. There were the Liao dynasty established by the Khitan people, with its capital in Linhuan near Balan left banner in Inner Mongolia to the northwest, and the Xia dynasty established by the Tangge people, a branch of the Piyang ethnic group, with its capital in sinking present-day Yinchuan, Ningxia. In addition, there were other regimes such as Dali in Yunnan, Tubon in the regimes of Gaochang, Kecha, and Yushan in the northwest, Khitan. After the northern Han was conquered, Emperor Taizong of the Song Dynasty launched major military expeditions against the Khitan, attempting to drive the Khitan-era Shaoguxi out of the Great Wall, but both attempts failed. Wars against the Chang'e nobility also often ended in failure, with significant ethnic conflicts. In terms of the Song's relations with Liao and Xia, after each war, the Song side would kneel and seek peace, offering large amounts of silver and silk. For instance, in the first year of Jing 1004, the Khitan launched a massive attack on the Song, reaching as far as Chanju, also known as Chanyuan, near present-day Puyang County, Hainan on the north bank of the Yellow River. In the second year of Jing 1005, the Treaty of Chanyuan was concluded between the Khitan and the Liao dynasty, with the Song paying the Khitan 10,000 taels of silver and 200,000 pieces of silk annually, known as the annual tribute, Western Xia. Between the first year of Kangding and the second year of Qingui 1040 to 1042, Emperor Yuan Hao of Western Xia launched multiple large-scale military attacks against the Song, resulting in significant losses on both sides. In 1044, a peace treaty was signed. The Song agreed to provide Western Xia with 72,000 taels of silver, 153,000 pieces of silk, and 30,000 pounds of tea annually, known as the annual gift. Taking advantage of the situation, the Khitan demanded additional tribute, and the Song paid an additional 100,000 taels of silver and silk each, totaling 500,000 taels. After the signing of the Song-Xia Treaty, the northwest border remained calm for over 20 years. However, in 1066, during the reign of Emperor Yingzong, in the third year of CHPNG, Western Xia began provocations again, and wars continued. The conflicts caused great suffering to the farmers on the northern side of the Yellow River, leaving them homeless and wandering. Igors, also known as Hu in the Tang Dynasty, saw their political power decline at the end of the Song Dynasty, destroyed by the Karluk people, also known as the Kyrgyz. A small number of Uyghurs moved to the border areas of the Chang, with the majority migrating in three directions. Some moved south to the Hexi region, becoming known as Hexi Uyghurs. Some went west to the western regions, centered around Zizhou Province, Zhigao Chang, Xinjiang, becoming known as Zizhou Uyghurs or Gaochang Uyghurs. And another group moved far west beyond the Pamirs, known as the Pamir Uyghurs, Hexi Uyghurs. Hexi Uyghurs were distributed in Ganzhou Province, Deishangye, Gansu, southwest of Danhuang, Liang Wuwei, Kuntianshui, in other prefectures, as well as the Hanlan Mountain in the Jina River area, with Ganzhou as the center. Also known as Ganzhou Uyghurs later, with the rise of Western Xia, which conquered Ganzhou, Liangzhou, Guazhou, Shisu, and other prefectures, Hexi Uyghurs became subordinate to Western Xia. After the Mongols defeated Western Xia, Hexi Uyghurs came under Mongol rule. Zizhou Uyghurs. After establishing themselves, Zizhou Uyghurs expanded westward. In the early years of the northern Song Dynasty, their territory extended west to Kachikuga, Xinjiang, bordered Shisu to the east, crossed the Tian Shan Mountains to the north, and reached the desert to the south. They established a feudal regime in this area, centered around Gaochang southeast of Turbin, and later became a vassal of the western Liao dynasty, changing their name to Weiweier. After the rise of the Mongols, they again came under Mongol rule. Kunlun West Uyghurs. Kunlun West Uyghurs were mainly distributed in the Chu River region in present-day Central Asia and western Xinjiang, China. In the early years of the northern Song Dynasty, their power gradually strengthened and they established the Karakitai Khanate, with the capital at Balasahan southeast of Tagmak in Central Asia. In the late 12th century, they were annihilated by the western Liao dynasty. The Karakitai Khanate focused on animal husbandry, engaging in agriculture and hunting as well. Their culture was relatively advanced, and the important city of Kashgarkashi, Xinjiang, was a renowned cultural center in Central Asia. Tubal. During the late Chang dynasty, internal conflicts and the disintegration of Tubal's political power led to the formation of numerous tribes, ranging from large ones with thousands of households to small ones with just 100 or so households. They had their own leaders and were not subject to any central authority, scattered across present-day Qinghai, Tibet, Gansu, Ningxia, and other areas. Some of these tribes gradually submitted to the central dynasties, becoming known as settled households, while others remained independent as nomadic households. After the establishment of the northern Song dynasty, the various Tubal tribes maintained friendly relations with the Song. In the early 11th century, the Tubal tribe of Kuisilu, located in the eastern part of present-day Qinghai, gradually rose to power. They became the most powerful tribe in Tubal, establishing a regime in the Huangshu River basin, covering parts of present-day Qinghai and Gansu. Kuisilu accepted the Song courts in Fiefman, maintaining close relations with the Song and resisting Western Xian. In the second year of Shaibing 1068, Kuisilu passed away, and his descendants continued the policy of maintaining friendly relations with the Song and resisting Western Xia. The regime lasted for about 100 years before internal strife led to its collapse. Dali. In the second year of Tianfa 937 and later Jin, Zhuan Saibing established the Dali kingdom, a political entity primarily composed of the Bai ethnic group. Centered around their high lake, he ruled over the entire Yunnan and southwestern Sichuan, divided into 8 prefectures, 4 counties, and 37 departments. The region was home to many ethnic minorities. Dali's regime inherited various systems from the southern Nanzhang and implemented a feudal serfdom rule. There were minimal armed conflicts with neighboring regions, leading to rapid socio-economic and cultural development. Animal husbandry, agriculture, and handicrafts were all well developed. To meet the needs of their growth, the people of Dali created their own widely used writing system, known as Beiwen or Bobi script, based on Chinese characters, which lasted for over 200 years. In the early years of the northern Song dynasty, there was little interaction between Dali and the Song dynasty. In the 9th year of Sanning 1076, Dali sent envoys to offer local products to the Song court. In the 7th year of Shang 1117, Dali again presented horses and musk to the Song. Emperor Heizong of the Song conferred upon their king, Duanhu, the titles of Yunnan Zhijushi and King of Dali. From then on, exchanges between the two sides increased. Both official and private trade were active. Shuang ethnic grew. Even before the Song Dynasty, the Shuang ethnic group formerly known as the Song ethnic group lived in the areas where Guangxi Shuang Autonomous Region, Yunnan and Vietnamese, generally referred to as Southwest Barbarians or Guanyuan Barbarians. Sometimes they were also collectively called Saitong Barbarians. During the Song Dynasty, more than 50 military and administrative zones were established in these areas, with Shuang leaders serving as officials. In the northern Song Dynasty, the Lingnan region was divided into Guangnan East and West routes. The Shuang ethnic group inhabited the Guangnan West route, and the Song government continued to establish over 50 military and administrative zones, with leaders of Shuang tribes serving as officials, including governors, county magistrates, and leaders of autonomous regions. The Shuang people were mainly engaged in agriculture, cultivating various crops, with a significant scale of mining and metallurgy, as well as textile production. Part 10. Diplomacy. During the Northern Song period, foreign relations further developed on the foundation laid by the Song Dynasty. In East Asia, relations and exchanges with Korea and Japan were close, while in Southeast Asia, connections with Vietnam and Indonesia were strengthened. Song Dynasty's diplomatic influence extended to West Asia, South Asia, the Persian Gulf, and the Arabian Peninsula, reaching as far as Somalia in Africa. Part 11. Society. Festivals. During the Northern Song period, economic and cultural development continued to advance, and commercial trade thrived. The content of various festival activities became increasingly diverse. As the national political, economic, and cultural center at that time, the capital city of Tokyo, today's Kaifeng and Henan, naturally celebrated festivals in a more grand and joyful manner, representing a certain significance in that era. During that time in Tokyo, people celebrated numerous festivals throughout the year. Festivals such as New Year's Day, Lantern Festival, Cold Food Festival, Kunming Festival, Dragon Boat Festival, Kixi Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival, Double Nine Festival, and Winter Solstice would each be accompanied by several days off. Moreover, there were at least 2 or more golden weeks each year. Unlike modern times, the Northern Song Dynasty had quite a few golden weeks, with 5 of them lasting 7 days each, corresponding to New Year's Day Spring Festival, Lantern Festival, Cold Food Festival, Qianqing Festival, and Winter Solstice. In other words, it was akin to experiencing 5 golden weeks. Among these many festivals, the 3 major festivals in the capital were Winter Solstice, New Year's Day, and Cold Food Festival, making these occasions particularly grand. Cuisine. The Northern Song Dynasty marked the 3rd peak period in the development of Chinese culinary culture. The catering industry held a significant position in the Northern Song's economy, and its culinary culture had a considerable influence on China's catering industry. Not only were there restaurants and tea houses, but night markets also flourished, continuing to impact the lives of present-day Chinese. Northern cuisine. Steamed buns, stuffed buns, and pancakes were the staple foods of northern residents. Although southern dishes in Sichuan cuisine were popular in Beijing modern-day Kaifeng, they did not affect the dominant position of northern cuisine. There were many northern cuisine restaurants in Beijing, such as Su Family Hizhang Shop, Ma Family Zhang Shop, Shi Family, and Tiaojia Hizhang Shop, all primarily selling thick soup. The famous dishes included hot soup, marrow soup, and tripe soup, among others. Well-known steamed bun shops included Wanjia Steamed Bun, Sangguohan Steamed Bun, Wabaozi stuffed buns establishments included Wang Lu Shandong Meihu Wabaozi and Lu Family Baozi. There were also various items like bamboo fern wanzhen, stuffed thin-skin silkworm pupa buns, thin-skin spring cocoon buns, shrimp meat buns, meat roll cakes, sugar meat buns, and taizu steamed buns. Additionally, there were oil cake and flatbread shops, with the oil cake shops selling steamed buns, sugar cakes, packed cakes, and tray plates. Flatbread shops sold various types of bread, including steamed bread with sesame oil, chrysanthemum flour, wide focus, thick on one side, oil, marrow cake, and new style for ham. These bakeries were large in scale and highly specialized. Southern cuisine. Southern cuisine shops offer dishes like fried fish balls, Chongbai Shukao noodles, and pan-fried fish rice. These dining establishments had separate halls, east and west corridors, designated seating, and served exquisite vegetables, known as making vegetarian dishes. Each bowl cost 10 won. In there were combined soups with both noodles and meat, known as blended soups, and smaller portions known as single soups, which were half the size. Previously, only spoons were used, but now chopsticks were commonly employed. Among these southern cuisine shops, Jin family and Sukiya Shou family of Jiukusisi were particularly notable. The most prosperous southern cuisine was found in the Sweetwater Lane north of the Shiyanguo Temple, Sichuan cuisine. As for Sichuan cuisine shops, they offer dishes like inserted meat noodles, large spicy noodles, mixed meat of various sizes, Tijian rooster, fried fish, miscellaneous fried buns, and raw and cooked fried rice. Restaurant culture. In the Northern Song period, cities transitioned from the Li Fang system to the Shiyang Fang system. The walls of neighborhoods were removed, transforming the urban spatial pattern from enclosed Li Fang to open street and alley styles. Scholars and commoners could open shops along the streets, creating a mixed and intertwined urban environment with restaurants and shops. There were countless large and small restaurants in Bianjing during the Northern Song Dynasty. Large restaurants were called Zhuedian or formal restaurants, and small ones were called Zhaiyadian or food restaurants. During the Xuanhai era, the most famous formal restaurant was the Songzhilu. In Bianjing, there were 72 formal restaurants, including notable ones like Yuxian Restaurant in the south of Kiwon Street, Rinhe Restaurant outside the Song Gate in the east of the state, Zhangdian, Yichenglu, Yatshan for shops, and Banliu. There were also restaurants under the Zhenliang Bridge, Liu Building below Zhenliang Bridge, Ma Weisheng's family near Kwaomen, and Liu Juyaowon Mansion in the north of the state. There was a saying that the most famous ones were Senliu, Hanlu, and Fangliu, entertainment. Wash. During the Northern Song period, commercial entertainment venues were referred to as wash or wazi, washi, wazi, etc., and the theaters set up within these establishments were called gulan or gulan, etc., specifically referring to performance venues. Bianjing was filled with such entertainment venues. South of the street was Saomia Waxi, followed by Zhanghua, and then Liao. Among them were over 50 gulan venues, along with Zhizhekio Wazi, Suxi Wazi, and Shabai Wazi. Large washed houses could accommodate several thousand people. Washed houses were mainly distributed from Yuji to Shazuyali, Maxing Street, Panlu Street, and streets and alleys outside the Red Gate. Small sing. This form of singing typically involved a solo singer accompanied by clappers and sometimes by simple instruments such as the flute, lute, shang vertical bamboo flute, shang mouth organ, and fangxiang square-shaped instrument. Both male and female singers performed, with female singers being predominant, and female singing was considered the norm during the Song Dynasty. Small sing was the most common singing form during the Song Dynasty, ranging from commercial performances in the marketplace to royal court banquets, official banquets, gatherings of scholars, and even private dinners among the gentry. It was widely embraced by the audience and held a significant place in commercial entertainment performances, displaying a distinctly commercial nature. Boisterous singing. Boisterous singing refers to modern songs that are considered extravagant and indulgent, often following the old tunes but with added embellishments. During the reigns of Emperor Heisong 1102–1106 and Emperor Zhiguan 1107–1110 of the Song Dynasty, there were disciples of boisterous singing, such as Shang Titi, Wang Jingnu, Sneng Shaoxi, and Niang, Mao Tuan, and others, who were active in the entertainment venues of Bianjing. By the end of the Northern Song period, boisterous singing had become an important popular entertainment activity alongside miscellaneous plays and storytelling in wash houses, appealing to both the common people and the upper class. The singing characteristics of boisterous singing involve singing small tunes with the accompaniment of drum boards. It features commanding melodies, uses a fictional voice, freely manipulates the palace tones, and is combined with playful tunes. On the one hand, boisterous singing is lively with the accompaniment of instruments like drum boards, creating a lively atmosphere. On the other hand, in terms of singing, boisterous singing involves commanding fictional voices and freely manipulating palace tones, i.e., adding embellishments, giving it a sense of unrestrained and indulgent excitement. The combination of vocal and instrumental elements naturally conveys a feeling of lively and unrestrained indulgence. However, it is closely tied to the daily life of the citizens to the extent that it is integrated with singing and playing tunes, becoming a widely popular form of vocal art in wash houses and on the streets. Miscellaneous plays. Miscellaneous plays developed during the Song and Zheng periods based on various palace tunes is a literary style that combines songs, dialogue, and dance into an artistic form. In the Song Dynasty, miscellaneous plays gradually became a specific term for a new form of performance. This new form was indeed miscellaneous, including singing, dancing, music, comedic dialogues, and acrobatics. It was divided into 3 sections. The first section, called the Yan Duan, presented familiar scenes from daily life, serving as a formal introduction. The second section was the main part, probably performing stories, storytelling, or dances. The third section, called the San Duan or miscellaneous segment, also known as the Ban, the Wang, Ji, involve comedic acts and jests with occasional acrobatics. Representative figures included Zhang Kuigai, Shang Chang's disciples Su Sida, Su Sixiao, Qi Yao Shir, Yang Zongxi, She Shu Niu, and others. Puppetry. Puppetry, a form of theatrical performance where actors manipulate wooden puppets behind the scenes, is known as puppet theater in ancient China. During the Northern Song Dynasty, puppetry experienced further development. In performances, actors manipulate puppets behind the scenes while simultaneously singing and accompanied by music. Depending on the puppet's form and manipulation technique, there are various types, including cloth-by puppets, string puppets, rod puppets, and wire puppets. Shadow play. Shadow play, also known as shadow lantern play, is a theatrical art form where figures cut from paper or lidar are manipulated to perform on a screen with the aid of light. It is a beautiful form of folk drama that originated in the Tang Dynasty and thrived during the Song Dynasty. Human rights. Throughout the imperial era, the Song Dynasty stood out for its relatively high degree of liberalism. While the government imposed heavy taxes and labor obligations on the people, it eased restrictions on personal rights, allowing freedom of movement and assembly. There were minimal legal restrictions on civilian associations and gatherings. According to the Song Code, only one law was found concerning gatherings and demonstrations. Those who disturb the market or the crowd shall be punished with 80 strokes. This indicates that, apart from causing public disorder, the vast majority of gatherings were permitted without the need for prior approval or subsequent reporting to relevant authorities. During the 320 years of the Song Dynasty's existence, there were instances of uprisings and rebellions among the population. However, unlike other periods, the downfall of the Song Dynasty did not result from internal turmoil but rather external threats. Population. In the 5th year of Taiping Senguo 980, the nationwide population was 332.1 million people, distributed among 6,418,500 households. If households not included in the main census were added, the total reached nearly 37.1 million people. By the 4th year of the Daoguan era under Emperor Heizong 11 Chan, there were 20,882,258 households and 46,734,784 individuals. Scholars take into account that the Song Dynasty's population statistics only covered adult males subject to taxation and labor duties. They estimate that the actual population at that time was around 112.75 million people. Some scholars propose that the peak population of the Northern Song Dynasty occurred in the 6th year of Xuan 1124, just before the Jinkang incident, with approximately 23.4 million households and 126 million people across the country.